Hi everyone, welcome to the introduction of our article. We're very happy to be here sharing with you what we have written in the article. First, I will start. I'm Jing Lin. I'm the professor who designed the course on climate change and education. And I feel very concerned about all the signs of climate change and the ecological impacts, right, that we are facing, especially species extinction. And I worry for our future generations. Therefore, I designed this course called Global Climate Change and Education, and we have 7 students enrolled in the course. So in this article, we're going to talk about, we talk about how we use contemplative holistic pedagogies to build heart-to-heart connection with nature and really open our eyes to see the divine in nature, and then start to take action to try to hear the voice and share the voice of nature. Amanda?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Fiore, and I was a co-author for this article. One of the things we talk about in the article is how teachers and students can engage in deep reflexive thinking while they're taking courses in higher education, and they can use that deep reflexivity to think about the institutional structure that they are in, the structure of higher education that they are in, and ways that they can challenge some of the traditional norms of higher education by bringing in the non-human world, integrating it into the pedagogy, and asking their students to do the same thing. And one of the tools that we use and that we suggest in the article is storytelling, because storytelling is a way for us to engage with our whole beings, to engage with our hearts and our spirits and our minds all together. And one of the things that we suggest, and one of the ways that Dr. Lin used it in her course, was to allow the students to be very creative with their stories and give voices to the non-living world, like telling a story about a tree or an animal and allowing them to come to life. And we also talked about how sharing stories in a classroom creates a sense of group bonding and an opportunity for people to feel really connected. And so we invited the students into the conversation, and they became co-authors of the article and shared their stories in the class. And so we are going to share at least one student's story here today. And I'll turn it back over to Erin.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Erin Sorensen, and I'm also an author on this article. And for this article, we really focused on how to counter the anthropocentric nature of formal education, but particularly in higher education. We believe that higher education really has a great power to make an impact on local communities as well as on knowledge sharing and development around the world, but that currently higher education is really focused on objective knowledge and on mind-based learning practices, which really creates an educational model that's engaging our minds rather than like the whole being of body, mind, spirit, heart, etc. And this approach that focuses so much on our mind really disconnects us from nature and disconnects us from developing a really deep bond with and within nature. We argue that we need to really have a reimagining of an anti-anthropocentric pedagogy, which will awaken learners' hearts to the suffering of nature and to foster a consciousness of togetherness and interbeing, which kindles our love and our sense of feeling towards nature. And we really think that this focus on the mind is that source of disconnection from nature, and that cultivating the heart in higher education can help us to see nature as a part of us, as a coexister in this world. And And through using this anti-anthropocentric pedagogy, this will use contemplative, holistic, and narrative models such as storytelling, as Amanda described, to be active and directly connected to our bodies and hearts and spirits, and really help to drive this heart connection to the world around us. So one of the anti-anthropocentric pedagogies that we talk about is eco-justice pedagogy, which is really based on the reciprocity. So meaning that there's a recognition that all things are interconnected in really complex ways of dependency. And such pedagogy really requires educators to focus on searching for truths within ourselves. So inner work of the heart, and that when it comes to designing a pedagogical approach to be applied in the classroom, we argue that instead of focusing on rhetorical questions and definitions of terms and things that really employ the mind, that it's important to kind of centralize and think about learning activities that ask students to reimagine who they are through heart-based learning. And we believe that going beyond the Anthropocene requires encouraging a deeper connection with and feeling towards nature. And this requires going beyond the confines of mind-based learning and finding creative ways to engage students' bodies, hearts, and spirits, and a reimagining of the way that eco-justice pedagogy is applied in the classroom. And so this course that we describe in the article really does this by thinking, kind of integrating the mind, but also really focusing and centering on heart-based practices that help students to establish a sense of connection with the environment. So now we're going to listen to Virginia, who is one of the students in this course, and she'll share a little bit about her experiences.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Virginia Gomes. I'm a third-year PhD student here at University of Maryland. And I was very privileged to be part of Dr. Lin's climate change class. It was really a surprise to me the way the whole class was led, because Dr. Lin engaged everybody in the learning. We're all learners, we're all teachers, you know? And one of the things she asked us to do is to build a relationship with a body of nature. It could be anything. And so I just went for a walk around my house, and I have seen this river before, and with my new outlook to nature, it just became a relationship. Not just me looking at a river, the river looking at me, but us slowly talking to each other. It was a beautiful connection that I could feel the river. So I visit this river every week, and I documented not only the change of seasons, but also people around it. There is some trash around it. There is some birds. So it was a whole body experience, whole body, mind, and became a heart experience once we became one. It was so interesting when you really pay attention to nature. Nature talks to you. If you have this mindset that nature will be talking to you, so you can really listen. So I learned so much about this river. It became my company during this semester, and I visit it constantly now. It just amplified my existence at some point. It amplified the way I saw nature and the way I saw myself too, as part of nature. So the class at the end, we became a community. We became people that we can trust each other. We share our experiences. My friends also visit the river. So we became more amplified as nature, now part of nature, not just human beings, but nature itself.
I want to say I was so touched when I read Virginia's Nature Contact Journal, and you mentioned that the river is flowing through you, right? And that's so beautiful. And many of our students experience similar things, right? Some students, all of a sudden now they feel concerned about a creek, a forest. So the whole class participated in a project, to design signs and wrap the signs around the trees to give the trees, voices, right? When they face the possibility of being cut down for a commercial project. So the whole class participated in this activity, and this action-oriented learning is very powerful. So in the class, we integrate, simulations, guest speakers, meditation at the beginning of each class, nature contact journal, artwork, meditate, right? And also, combining with analytical understanding of, say, the roots, like capitalism, colonialism, right, patriarchy, that lead to the destruction of nature. So many students share very, very powerful stories, and you read the stories by yourself, and then they're very, very impactful. So one example is Anna, who want to share some of her experiences.
Hello, I'm Anna, and I have been listening, and I have been attending the class for one semester, and I have a lot of things that I have learned from this class. And first of all, I'm from traditional academic system, where usually informal methods in education are not used. So it was really new and interesting for me to practice such things as meditation, for example, during the class. And I was amused by how many good outcomes are from this process of meditation, and how much you can learn about nature and about other people during this. And also the collective process of meditation is important itself, because you can learn that you are not only one going through this, and you share these feelings, and you share these feelings about nature and like the ecosystem itself. That was quite an interesting thing to learn about. And the second thing for me was that is the practical part of the course, where we went to the woods and we actually touched the trees, and we actually made this thing with putting the labels on them that they can speak. They have their own voice, and they have their life inside them. And that was also amazing, because we could for me, first of all, I could think of a tree or as some kind of being, and that was a philosophical thing, because for like all my life, I have never been thinking of a tree like of something alive. And that was a very, very important experience for me. And since then, I started to learning more about eco-activism and getting involved in different activities, not only in Guilford Woods like we did, but in many other activities, not only in the United States, but also in my home country. So that was really, really inspiring. And I thank Dr. Ling for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Anna, so much. I want to say I learned so much from everyone. Reading your journal, your part in the article, I'm just immensely touched. I feel that we work together, right? We create a new eco-identity, right? We redefine our role, not only now among human society, but to be connected with nature, right? With the whole universe, with all living things, right? With trees, right? As intelligent teachers, and history holder, right, and library for us. So to conclude, that we are happy to share this article with you, and hope you enjoy it.
We hope that this course is an example for other educators in higher education about ways that they might do the same thing in their courses and break free of the traditional conception of what a course should be, and instead think creatively about how they can engage their students with nature. Okay, and then we can say goodbye.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
All right.
Okay. So is it goodbye?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.